Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
What makes an artist an artist? I was dubbed an artist as a kid, and I held on to that label ever since. Back then, I operated under the assumption that artists were people who were good at drawing things. Eventually, I started to realize that artists came in many flavors. We could include painters, sculptors, fashion designers, photographers, poets, songwriters, musicians, actors, dancers, and the field grows. Looking at that list, one might be tempted to reframe an artist as anyone who does creative work, which is fair. But doesn't it require creativity to figure out a way to cure a rare form of cancer? Or to keep the doors open when the staff is shorthanded? Or to feed a family of 6 on a shoestring budget? Now it's getting tricky. Perhaps from a certain point of view, we're all artists. You included. Yes, even if you're not so hot at drawing things. If you're using your creativity to solve problems and make the world better, and by default a little more beautiful, welcome aboard. Nailing down exactly who is an artist is a challenge, but I propose that an even more difficult task is believing you are one. My wife Kim is an artist, and she knows it, but it took her a long time to own it. I started noticing it a number of years ago when she began taking photos on her walks. She'd return with her heart full and a hop in her step, showing me the treasure she'd captured with her iPhone. They were interesting, different, and enthralling. These are good, I'd say, but my compliments fell on deaf ears for a very long time. Husbands are supposed to say nice things to their wives, after all. Her rebuttals were kind of predictable. She wasn't using a fancy camera, she had no training, she wasn't doing it for money. Of course, some of the best artists were self-taught. The best tools have never been a requirement for making great art. Vincent van Gogh, one of the greatest, most beloved artists of all time, only sold 2 paintings in his whole life. And I'm sorry, I don't think you can look at these photos and not see art. Fortunately for all of us, Kim has come around to reality. She is an artist. She notices things the rest of us don't see, and thankfully uses her camera to capture the beauty for our benefit. While we impatiently wait for rainbows to show up on the horizon, she shows us wonder in a drop of dew, a heart-shaped hole in an old tree, and a delicate flower that maintains a fierce beauty, even if it is a little past its prime. Meanwhile, she often uses words to knit those images together with deep truths that imbue us with inspiration, encouragement, gratitude, and hope. When we discuss the possibility of doing a book based